Hi, this is Scott Womble, and this is your 2-minute tip on biblical interpretation. In the last couple weeks, I talked about the Pharisees and the scribes because they're mentioned an awful lot in the Gospels. The Pharisees being mentioned about 90 times and the scribes about 60. Today, I want to talk about the Sadducees. They're only mentioned 9 times in the Gospels, and because of that, we might think, they're really not that big a deal. That's just simply not true at all. While the Pharisees controlled the people, it was the Sadducees who controlled the Sanhedrin, which was basically the Supreme Court for the Jews. In fact, the high priest of the Sanhedrin was always a Sadducee. The historian Josephus said that the Sadducees were rather boorish in their behavior, and that they were as rude as aliens. They had little contact with the people, and they weren't concerned with popularity, but they did have the ear of the wealthy, as many of the Sadducees were also wealthy and very powerful people. The Sadducees not only presided over the Sanhedrin, but they were also concerned with running the temple, and that's because many of the priests were Sadducees. And here's where it gets real interesting. While the Sadducees are only mentioned 9 times in the Gospels, the chief priests are mentioned 15 times, and so we're probably hearing a lot more about the Sadducees in the Gospels than we actually realize. Now, there are 2 big things we need to know about the Sadducees. First, they did not accept the entire Old Testament. They only accepted the Torah, the first 5 books, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And number 2, they denied the resurrection. And often when we see the Sadducees pop into the stories, it revolves around the resurrection. Here's a couple examples. We're told that after raising Lazarus, the chief priests want to kill Jesus. And even in the book of Acts, we're told that the apostles are attacked because they were preaching the resurrection. Now, there's a couple times where Jesus lumps the Pharisees and the Sadducees together. One time he says, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees," and one time he calls them both a brood of vipers. Well, here's the big takeaway. The Sadducees were powerful, they were wealthy, and we might even refer to them as the power brokers of the day. But for all of their influence, they were totally clueless, and they crucified the Messiah. It's an important lesson for us today. People of influence don't always know what they're talking about. We can't just blindly follow people. We must follow wholly after our Lord Jesus. Well, I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Go shine the light for Jesus. God bless.